Hello, my dear and lovely Scorpios. This is your horoscope for August 2024, and August will be a very important one because it will touch your angular, houses. Those are cardinal houses, meaning 10th house and 4th house, indicating your career and your family life will come forth, and it will occupy your thoughts a whole August. Plus, August is a bit of a bumpy month. It's a bit of a challenging month because we have also Mercury retrograding, meaning moving backwards, slowing down. Mercury is the planet of communication and signing contracts, and we need Mercury to be sharp for all the important deals, all the important trade and commerce, because Mercury rules them, and we need Mercury to be sharp for signing important papers and for doing plastic surgeries, for doing dental work, and any surgeries actually, and also buying technical stuff, for example, like phone or computers, all those things. But in this case, we have Mercury retrograding, meaning slowing down. All sorts of mismatches, cancellations, delays are happening during Mercury retrograde. So my advice, not to sign any important papers the whole August, not to buy any expensive things, especially technical related, like any kitchen appliances, any phones or computers, all those things, and not to do plastic surgeries for sure, and not to make any negotiations, and even opening a business, it's not advisable during whole August. And I have whole separate video about Mercury retrograde on my channel. Please find it and make sure to listen it, because I gave all the tips, all the what to do's and not to do's during Mercury retrograde. It is very helpful navigating the months that Mercury goes retrograde. Now let's begin with your August horoscope. On 2nd of August, we have Venus, planet of love and beauty, in your 10th house, which that is your house of career and social status, making disagreement with Uranus, a planet of surprises, in your house of love, committed partnerships in love and in business. Now, for some of you, it might be totally about your career and business area. Seems like beginning of August, you might have some argument with your business partner about the direction of your career path or of where you're taking your business to. Or for some of you, it might be your marriage partner or someone who you are, let's say, in a long-term relationship, love relationship, will make also sort of a disagreement with you, some sort of argument around your let's say status of your relationship, whether to take it further to the marriage, let's say, or to get divorced, or to, like, let's say, in general, the future of your relationship, where you stand in a bigger society as a couple, my dear Scorpios. It might be some sort of a moment where you will have this sort of disagreement there, and in some cases it might even involve a real estate issue, some sort of question. There might be your family involved, and also, of course, where you're gonna live, like what is your living circumstances as a couple too. Now, on 4th of August, we have new moon in your career house. Your career house is pretty active whole August, and it's amazing that you have this new moon in your career house, the highest point in our natal chart. And if you look at the clock, it always shows 12. That is our career house in astrology, but it's called 10th house. Now, this 10th house also includes your social status, because that all, your career and social status, they all depend each other, and all the things like that we get recognition for, and people that we respect, and do we have an influence, how much influence we have. And you are having new moon there. New moons are about new stories, new beginnings. It's an amazing one, because this new moon will be supported by happy and lucky planet Jupiter, planet of luck and expansion, together with Mars, because Mars is planet of desire and action, and it's your ancient ruler, my dear Scorpios. Mars and Jupiter will team up in your financial house of other people's money, the money that comes to you from other people. These money are not the money that you earn but the money that you get from, let's say, governments or institutions or other people, like in marriage, for example, budget, family budget money, or your spouse money, or from investments, or from, let's say, if you're a student, then it's your scholarship. If you are real estate owner, then it's a loan that you've taken from a bank. And if you're a business owner, it's again the loan, bank money, or any other funding that you receive from any other sources. It's exactly the eighth house. And it's an amazing place to have Jupiter and Mars. And Jupiter will transit whole year that area. You will have a chance to, let's say, get rich. One of the lucky signs, my dear Scorpios, especially if you are avid investors. Now, because Jupiter will give you this desire to invest even more, to crave for more, to have more properties and more investments, and even get good returns from those investments. And Mars is currently driving your desire to do so. Now, and this new moon is happening on your 10th house. It's a perfect place to, host new moon. It means that your new career is starting. By the, in beginning of August might indicate that you will receive a recognition for your work done. It might be a new position in your current work, or it might be totally a new job offer for someone else, from some other company, and it might actually involve the investments also. And the money that will be here tied in with that offer will be amazing one, good one that you will like, my dear Scorpios. Also here, it might be a new title, additional title to the current one that will involve also some funds, some money that is coming to your way. For some of you, it might be related to social status. If it's not a job, if it's not a career, if you say I'm high enough, if you say that I am successful enough, I don't need any promotion, and I'm not anticipating any thing of this sort, then it might be your social status. And, Jupiter Mars in your conception house, this new moon might give you a status, new social status of fatherhood or motherhood, my dear Scorpios. You might become a with a new, let's say, in a bigger society, you might become a parent right now, or grandparent, or some sort of new title, that we used to give in a bigger society, like as a father, mother, all these things are our social status. It might be this, that you will finally, let's say, your baby is born around this new moon. And I'm specifically talking to those of you who, because this new moon is happening at 12 degrees, who are born around 5th of November, plus or minus 5 days. This will be your new moon. That new moon will be exactly talking to you, my dear Scorpios. And for some of you, it might be about investments. You might invest into something big, and you might become an investor, newly titled investor, let's say. And also you might need some bank loans, or it might involve your taxes also. You might get a new tax system, let's say, taxation, and you might pay less here. But with Jupiter in your 8th house, it might actually give you both ways, because Jupiter is a planet of expansion. It doesn't matter what it touches, it just makes it bigger. So in this case, it's your tax house, and it might make it bigger, or it might make it happier and luckier for you, and you might get it done in a way that it will be smaller. There are both ways that are happening, so you should look your situation. Also, this is about, 8th house is about health. If you've been fighting with some sort of disease or some sort of illness, and you had health problems, let's say health issues, then this new moon might give you a new sense of well-being. You might finally recover from that illness. You might finally feel yourself alive and free from sort of disease, the thing that you were being bothered health-wise, because it's happening exactly in the 10th house. And also 10th house, it's about our father. It's about our manager. If it's not you, then it might be those things are happening in your father's life. Maybe it's them who are getting new title, new position, new job offer, or becoming a father again, or getting married, because social status includes also, as being married, let's say, or being single, and or being an investor, something who has bigger reputation, big influence. Either it's you, either it's your father might be. Those things are happening in your father's life, or in your manager's life, if it's not your father. Like 10th house is the house of influence, is the house of reputation. And your reputation is doubling, my dear Scorpio, seems like. Now, let's talk about next day, 5th August. 5th August, we have Venus, planet of love and beauty, moving into your house of future, house of friendships, making all the sorts of social gatherings enjoyable. You might be attending some sort of concerts or big social gatherings, because 11th house is about masses of people gathering in one place. Maybe it might be a concert, it might be an exhibition, or it might be an Olympic Games, or anything of that sort. So Venus here, if you will be attending, and it seems like you might be attending, will give you that amazing experience. Or you might be gifted with some sort of gifts, and it seems like you will be visiting those places with your loved one, with your partner, with your spouse, or long-term partner. And on the same day, on 5th of August, we have Mercury going retrograde. And as I said, during Mercury retrograde, better not to start anything new. No new business, no new, let's say, projects. And all sorts of delays are happening during Mercury retrograde. And Mercury will go retrograde for 3 weeks until 28th of August. So whole August is no-go to plastic surgeries, dental work. If it's possible to avoid it, just avoid it, please. Postpone it. Trust me, you will make the right decision if you do so. Otherwise, if you do all those things during Mercury retrograde, you might just, regret about this decision, or you might redo again those things. Something might be off about the work done, or if you sign in contract, then that contract might be missing some things, might have some mistakes there. Now we're coming to, and Mercury will, retrograde in your 11th house. And 11th house is the friendship house. You might be in the beginning of August, first half of August, contacting your old friends with old social circle, or you might yourself contact them, or you might be contacted. Your friends might remember you, dream about you, and you might get in touch again during Mercury retrograde in your 11th house. Or for some of you, it might be the time when you will go back to your previous plans for the future, previous wishes, and you might work around those things during Mercury retrograde. Now, when Mercury goes backward, it will cross into your 10th house, career house, after 15th of August. So for the second half of August, it's really advisable not to sign any important papers, because then at a later stage, you might re-sign them, That contract might come as some sort of... there might be some missing clause, or some things are missing there, and with mistakes might be happening. And you might resign it in the future at the later date. Now, Mercury in the 10th house, it might be, you might be contacted with your previous colleagues from your previous workplace, or you might be contacted by your previous manager also. There is a possibility, or you might actually go back to your previous workplace, and you might do some sort of projects there. Now, let's talk about second half of August, because second half of August is a bit of a bumpy one. It has a little bit of a challenge, but I would like to say from the beginning, stay on a positive side. Believe in the goodness, and all those positivity will rocket back to you. That's how we should build our life. Now, 19th August, we have full moon. Full moons are about endings. They bring culmination to the situation that is already in your life. Or another function of full moon is to show you some situation that needs your attention or immediate action, like putting big light on some person or situation in your life that you've not been noticing or ignoring, and now needs your attention. Now, that full moon is happening in your house of family, house of real estate, 4th house, at 27 degrees, meaning those who are born around 19th of November, by the end of the Scorpio season, will be affected the most by this full moon. The universe will be speaking directly to you, to those of you who are born by the end of the Scorpio season, my dear Scorpios. And full moon, will be met by harsh angle from Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of surprises. You never know what this planet might bring into your life. me as an astrologer also cannot possibly, guess what might be that in your case. You should check your natal chart. And also, even with that, universe works in a surprising ways whenever is Uranus is involved. Now, Uranus will be in your seventh house of committed partnerships in love and in business. Now, for some of you, it might be about, you might have an argument again, you see, here with your loved one, with your spouse or a long-term partner, about your living circumstances. You see, in the beginning of month, it might be some sort of a notification of what's to come. But then by the end of month, that situation will reach its climax and you will need to deal with that. It seems like you will have to decide where you're living, what is your house situation, what is your real estate. It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling or moving somewhere else, because there is an indication where you're moving. There might be some sort of argument with your loved one around this topic. Or if you are, let's say, exchanging or leaving something behind. And fourth house is also a house of movement. It's a house of moving somewhere, citizenship. If you've been in the process of getting a passport of another country or a permanent residence or a visa, again, there might be some issue with your loved one. And it seems like there will be an argument around that topic. And also, fourth house is the house of mother, it's the house of family, and specifically our mother. It might be not you, but your mother might argue with your spouse around end of August. And you might have to kind of sort out that situation. Plus, Uranus is the natural ruler of your family, house in astrology. And it's in being ruler of the full moon, it's exactly, sending very harsh vibrations to that full moon, meaning something will be shocking. All the things that I mentioned might come as a shocking to you. You might not even know from where this is coming, but it seems like it might involve your mother for some of you, and for some of you it might involve you yourself with your spouse or long-term partner. And also, because full moon is happening in the house of family and family composition, like how many people you have in your family, people number. And full moon is some sort of finish. And here it seems like some sort of shocking information is coming. Maybe someone will move out, from the house, and your family member will lessen, let's say for studies, someone, or just of the reason that they want to live privately, any sort of reason, or it might be that you might actually separate with your spouse or long-term partner. There is a possibility too, my dear Scorpios, and it will come as a very surprising thing to you. And for those of you who say it's not about my family and it's not about my loved one, everything is perfect there, or if you say I'm single, then it might be the case of your business partner. If you have a business, then it might be the people that you are in a contractual relationship, long-term contractual relationship, like your business partner or your boss. Seems like there will be situation where you will need to move for your work somewhere, but then you might not like this situation and you might have an argument with your business partner. Or you might, again, yourself want to move somewhere and your business partner might not like that situation. And again, you have there some sort of argument. Or it might be over real estate. It doesn't matter what, like house, apartment, or maybe it's a business real estate, like sort of, it might be related to those things. And in general, if you've been in the process of applying to some sort of citizenship or immigrating somewhere, this full moon might indicate that not this time, my dear Scorpio. Seems like universe is telling you to stay and pause, to think through all the situation. And at the same day, like on the same day, 19th of August, there are a bunch of other planets who will be arguing with each other on a different side of the sky, totally not related to this full moon. And those planets are Saturn, planet of responsibilities and hard work, and that will oppose Venus, planet of love and beauty. And Saturn at the same time will send harsh beams to to Jupiter, planet of luck and happiness, and Mars, your ancient ruler, planet of action and drive. Jupiter and Mars will be in your financial house, 8th house, and Saturn will be in your happy house, 5th house, and Venus here is in the 11th house. Seems like most likely a woman, like person in your life who has some sort of own vision for your future, for your shared future, will not be on the same page with you, yourself, how to say, envision for you together. Seems like you might not be ready for, let's say, kids, or if you have them, and there might be some sort of an issue how you actually imagined having kids, but the reality might be different. And Jupiter and Mars here also will, indicating that it will need a lot of fund, a lot of money to raise a kid, and you will have this harsh reality with that. It will make you desire to earn more, my dear Scorpios. And for some of you, it might be totally related to business if it's not your kids. It seems like the business that you have and the future that you want for your business won't be matching with the finances that is involved in that business, and you might actually require more to finance that business in order to grow in that direction that you thinking of, let's say, or that business is going totally different way than you desire. This might be also happening, and some sort of there are scarce investments, like there is not enough investments as well. It might be the case if you are a business owner, and if your case related to business, my dear Scorpio. And in case if you are in an art area, like creativity area, if you're a dancer or some sort of performer, singer, or model, the future that you want for yourself or the people surrounding you somehow will be giving you some sort of pressure, and it will manifest in a sort of mental pressure as well. You might need some works done, like therapy, and you might need some sort of psychological therapies, or any like physical therapies as well, like health related therapies, because it seems like you have, let's say, a talent, but at the same time, people are not so much of a supportive surrounding you, because you might be also feeling yourself mentally, let's say, unstable or mentally not prepared. If whatever I say makes sense, please leave a comment, my dear Scorpios, because this what indicates actually all these planets. And in general, second half of August will be a bit of a challenging for all of us, so I advise you to keep faith and stay on the positive and the brighter side. And in general, with your friends, there might be some sort of in case of the business, there might be a friend who you want to work with you in your business, but that friend might not be so willing to do so. There is also kind of this possibility. Now, I might give you as much as possible like examples that only you can actually relate, according to your situation, what might be happening by the end of August. So I'm trying to, you to be ready for the situations. Now, let's move to the sun. On 22nd of August, we have Sun moving into your friendship zone. As soon as Sun moves there, on 22nd of August, you might get a spotlight, and your friendships might be a spotlight for you. You might start socializing more, because Sun gives the energy to socialize, to see as much as friends, also to celebrate something, to go to some sort of bigger events, social events. And on 28th of August, we have Mercury going direct. And Mercury, planet of communication, as I said, and signing contracts, allow it 10 days after it goes direct to regain its power, to move forward more confidently, more energetically, to fully go direct. So do all those planned business related things after 10th of September. That is my advice. This was your horoscope for August, my dear Scorpios. Stay positive and stay on the brighter side. Try to see all the positive and bright side of whatever will be happening by the end of August. Love you all. Bye-bye.